Hi, this is Jim Weaver, uh, and I am starting a blog, a video blog for Qigong practice. I myself have been practicing Qigong a little over 20 years. Been teaching for probably over 10 years now, and have gained some experience. I want to put out there that I don't consider myself a Qigong master as yet, but I'm on my way there. Um, and I always tell all my students that they are also on their way as long as they're practicing. If they keep practicing, they'll get there. Um, and why I wanted to put it out there is because a lot of people just have no idea what Qigong is. You know, what it's about, how does it relate, to martial arts, Tai Chi, healing, Feng Shui, all the arts that are actually all interrelated disciplines. Anyway, I want to give you a little more information about myself just so you know who's talking to you. You can get an idea of who I am. Like I said, my name's Jim Weaver. I've been teaching Qigong for several years now, personal practice for over 20 years. And I've worked with various teachers over the years, some personally, some through books, videos, on the phone, seminars, so forth. I teach Tibetan and Taoist styles. I keep them separate. I have integrated a couple of different practices that I felt go together very well, and this comes from my own personal experience. And I only teach either what I've done or what I do. And so I only offer that to my students as to, what I think is going to work the most effectively. I also will teach somebody an individual practice that I may not teach to somebody else, depending on their physical makeup, emotional makeup, or else what is going on with them holistically. Anyway, the history of Qigong is shrouded in mystery. It's been around for thousands of years. There's references to it in ancient China and other areas around the world, particularly in the Near East, in the Far East. And it's a long and sordid history. And really, what matters is that that it goes all the way back to the ancient shamans. And the shamans, men and women, priests and priestesses, when they were doing their healings, would spontaneously go into movements and dances and breathings and vocalizations that were, designed to channel this healing energy through their bodies or into the environment or into the person that they were trying to heal, or to bring balance to their community, to themselves, to other people. And eventually these teachings got codified, written down, recorded, and soon made into different systems, which broke off into different schools and branches. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different styles of Qigong. So you could see somebody saying, "Oh, I'm doing Qigong right now," and somebody next to them could be doing Qigong, and they look completely different. They could be doing a lot of different things. It's a huge word, the word Qigong. Qi, of course, is universal energy, the life force. It's the animating force that runs through everything, and it's the determining force whether something is alive or dead. It's the movement of the breath of the universe. When God, breathed life into the nostrils of Adam, it was the Qi gave that life force to Adam and brought him to life. There's a lot of different ways of looking at it and describing Qi. You can't really see Qi, can see the effects of it. It's like the wind in the trees. You can't really see the wind or the air, but you see the effects of it taking place. And basically, in my own personal experience, Qi can manifest in a lot of different ways. Tingling, electrical, you get a magnetic feeling in the body, a euphoria in the body, an uprising of energy. There's different types and flavors of Qi. I've actually tasted different types of Qi. It's kind of hard to describe. Some is metallic. It can have a woody taste. It can have different flavors to it, depending on what you're working with. Heard different effects of Qi, a buzzing, a humming. It's more of a feeling than a sound, but it really affects this area, and you can really feel it when it comes in, and you hear it. It's kind of hard to describe. So Qi can be experienced, and really, to know Qi, you have to experience it. And really, my goal for my students is to get that experience as soon as possible, because then they know which way to go, what they're looking for. And once you're tied into the Qi force, it will begin to guide you. It has an intelligence. It is intelligent. It's an intelligent force in the universe. And basically, what you're doing is bringing yourself into alignment with it, bringing your personal Qi in line with the universal Qi. Nature, the nature Qi, the environmental Qi, other people's Qi. When your Qi comes into alignment and balance, you will affect your environment. Anyone or anything that's around you is going to be in a little more balance, because all of our Qi energies interact. The trees, the grass, the animals, the insects, other people, cities, countries, planets, universes. They all have their Qi field. And when you are working and relaxing into that alignment, it has a profound effect, all the way down to all the little Qi fields of every atom in your body. Every cell is like a universe. Anyway, I'll go into that more I'll get into more details about that as we go along in the video blogs. But basically, the history, depending on who you talk to, you're going to find out there's all these different histories about it. I recommend researching it. Go as far as you can with it. But what's really important is to know that it has been around a long time. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be here. And that though it may morph and change and adapt to changing times, which is good, it means it's a living force. It's a living thing. It's got to change and adapt with the times, just like every other living thing. It's going to be here, and it's a wonderful system. I highly recommend it for anybody and for anything that ails you. Just living itself, being alive and existing, can have its difficulties, and Qigong can make it a lot more pleasant. I know it's worked for me. So basically, Qi is the energy. Gong basically implies cultivation, development, art, something that is cultivated over time. It takes time. You have to put your time in. That's the cost of it. There's no other way around it. If you don't practice it and put your time in, you're not going to get the benefits. Now, you can go to a Qigong healer. One of my main teachers was a Qigong healer. He'd go in, he'd blast you, he'd open the energy gates of the universe. You'd get this download of energy, and a lot of healing can take place spontaneously like that. But ideally, what you want to do is tune yourself to the energy every day. That particular teacher told me that Gong implies perseverance. You have to persevere. Daily practice, a little bit every day. A little bit every day. You're going to get the most out of it. You're going to get the best payoff that way. So Qigong, energy development. It's actually a later name. It had a lot of earlier names, Neigong, Weigong, some other names too. But what's important is that you know that that's what it means. It just means energy development or art, basically. And it's a type of kung fu too. Kung fu basically means the same thing. Art, something that develops over time that you cultivate. And again, the benefits are incredible. For health, vitality, mental clarity, emotional balance. It has everything you need in it. Meditation, it's fantastic for meditation. A lot of times when I'm practicing and I'll be in a meditative state, my mind will finally pop back up again and go, oh, wow, we've been meditating for 15 minutes. Won't even be aware of it. It's an effortless meditation, and you're bringing your body with you. You're not whipping the body into discipline. It's relaxing into it, letting go into it, enjoying it. Enjoy the practice is, I find, what Qigong's really about. If you're not enjoying yourself, if it's hard work or labor, forget it. I'm not going to do it. I want to love it. And now my body gets me up early in the morning to practice every morning. I don't even have to try. It does it itself. And that's what's great about it. Once you get on that wheel of energy and your cells get on that wheel of energy, it's self-perpetuating. It'll carry you along, and you can join in with it and dance with it. It's a wonderful feeling. I got my notes here because I forget sometimes what I'm talking about. The pluses and minuses of Qigong practice, well, it's all going to be individual for you. There are some things that just do not work for people, and that's fine. You don't have to practice it. There's no rules. There's no rules here involved in it. It's like if something doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. Do what feels good. Start there. You may reach a point where you might want to push past that discomfort. You might want to push past that and work your way and feel even better. It just depends on how far you want to go with it. The best idea that I've learned through different teachers, go to about 70% of your capacity. If it gets uncomfortable after that, painful, doesn't feel right, don't push past it. Just work to that point. It's okay. Eventually it may expand. You have to be very, very patient. And again, I discussed the pluses. You're going to get nothing but benefits out of it. Sleep better. You'll find that as you do particular Qigong practices, they get you in touch with the internal organ system. And the organs will begin to communicate with you. And they'll tell you, don't eat that. That's not going to be good for you. Don't breathe that air in that room. It's not going to be good for you. Your lungs will talk to you. I'm starting to feel like this. You need to eat this. You need to burn this, medicine. There's a lot of different things it can do. That the organs will communicate with you and tell you what you need. Even the skin, the hair, the teeth, the eyes, all the senses will take on a vibrant animation of communication between all the systems. And so, and again, I find when I don't practice regularly, I can tell my clarity is off. I can't think as clearly. My emotions tend to get clogged up. I'll feel something, something will start running in my mind, and I'll start feeling it in my organs. And it's like, oh, boy, I need to clear this out. I got to do some practice. Now, eventually, you'll reach a point where you'll reach a default point where you're always basically feeling good for no reason. You can drop right into it, even if there's catastrophe all around you or emotional upset. There's a seed that's been planted inside that doesn't go away. It's always with you, and you will always carry that. But you have to water it. every day. You have to water a little bit every day. Smile into your system. It's one of the techniques. And like I said, I've worked with different teachers, and I will over time recommend looking into different teachers because I've learned from a few. There's been a few great teachers that I've connected with, and I will recommend it as I go along. I've put out a few videos already about some basic practices that I do every day, and they're practices that I keep up with over the years because they're indispensable to me to connect with the universal chi and to keep my chi in balance. Don't get too caught up on the technicalities. Don't worry, if you stick with it, you'll pick everything up over in time. Eventually, what I have found, the chi will move you into the form. I've been doing it for so long that I'm doing these spontaneous forms, spontaneous Qigong, and later researching them and finding that that is part of a traditional form. I'd never seen it before. I didn't know anything about it. And these forms, visualizations, meditations, movements are coming through me. I'd never seen them before. And that they are part of the actual tradition that's out there. Just enjoy the practices. Really, take your time. Don't worry about it. Don't beat up on yourself if you can't do it every day. Just try your best. Just do your best. And don't get too attached to the outcomes. Now that's kind of the dichotomy is, Buddhism deals with that too. Don't try to become enlightened because if you're trying, there's a you trying to become enlightened, and becoming enlightened is getting beyond the you. So it's a catch-22. The you is trying to become enlightened, but you have to lose the you to become enlightened. It's the same with Qigong. You want these effects, you want the outcomes, but you don't want to be attached to the outcomes because you being attached to them blocks the outcome. Just relax into it. What comes, comes. What goes, goes. It's going to shift. Your practices are going to be different every day. They're not going to be the same. You're going to reach plateaus where it tends to dry out. Oh, nothing's happening for a week. I've been doing this practice for a week. There's nothing happening. That's when you keep going. It can be difficult. I know. I've done it. I've quit stuff and switched over to something else. I have. But I've learned. But I always go back. Go back. Continue. Oh, it pops out. It changes. It's better. You've expanded to a new plateau. That will keep happening. And just when you think you've got it and you've mastered it, you realize you don't. You don't. You're always getting it. You're always learning it. It's a never-ending process. It's going to just go on and on and on. There's always someone better. There's always someone more powerful. There's somebody that can show you up. There just is. That's always going to be the case. But just remember what the most important thing. Follow your heart. Follow your heart about the path you want to choose. It's up to you. In the end, it comes down to you. No one else. You're going to have teachers. You're going to have gurus. You're going to have masters. That's okay. But really, they just symbolize what's in you. You're your ultimate master, and that's always going to be the case. And you have to do what feels right to you. Trust yourself. Trust. That's what a lot of Qigong is about. Trusting the energy, and having faith, believing. Believing helps. You don't have to believe in all the woo-woo stuff for it to work. You really don't. It's really quantum mechanics is what it comes down to. But it helps. When you put that, your will, your belief, your love into it, it's just going to strengthen the whole practice. I think that's really what it's all about. Loving it, connecting with the love of the universe, and spreading it out through all your cells, loving yourself, loving your body, and loving everyone and everything else. Really, that's what it all comes down to. If you're not doing that, if that's not what you're after, then you're after something else. Power, strength, maybe cities, the psychic powers, whatever it is. It's okay. You could do that. But it's short-lived, and it's really, in the end, you got to ask yourself, is it really serving you? Is it serving others? Is it bringing healing to this world, which is overrun by power-hungry people right now? Really question yourself. What are you after? What do you want? And it's good. And to do that as often as possible, I still do it. I still have to stop, ask myself, what is this about? Why am I doing this? And I think that's the most important thing, staying in touch with yourself and your heart, loving it. But basically, enjoy yourself. I'm going to be offering some basic teachings here. I might even give out some forms here. I don't know yet. I'm playing it by ear, but I've had students request more information, and so I'll have this available to them. And I'm also going to be putting out some DVDs, maybe some MP3 meditations. I'm also going to be doing another audio blog, which is a separate part of this, and it's basically a metaphysical occult in the sense of what occult really means. Is hidden teachings, not dark magic or anything like that, but dealing with healing in the more of a Western tradition, integrating Eastern, but Western, because I've also been practicing that for many decades since I was very young. So I have a lot to offer on that level. And so just want to put that out there too. Again, follow your heart, trust the universe, love yourself, love everyone. It's the most important thing. Thank you.